Chapter 50. Qaf. By the Qur'an I swear that you, Muhammad, are warning the disbelievers of what will come. Yet they say, what a far-fetched idea, such a thing cannot be done. How will we be raised from our graves and reformed when we are dust and dead? But we know well what occurs to bodies after death. We know well what lies ahead. We keep a detailed record, thorough and comprehensive, yet the disbelievers abhor the truth you bring, and they turn fearful and apprehensive. Do they not note the sky from its clouds and constellations? Do they not see that their perfection is a more complex element of creation? What then in comparison is the reforming of dust back to bone and flesh? Consider too the extent of the earth and mountains. Will the disbelievers not reflect? Have they not seen a plant wither, rot and go underground and soon regrow? Is this process familiar to them, or is it something yet unknown? Do they not see the water fall from the sky, making dead land fertile once again, providing date palms and green gardens, and row upon row of harvestable grain? And as it is with the re-emergence of plants from barren land that was of water in need, so will be the resurrection of man, who was made from a tiny clot indeed. The disbelieving words of the Quraysh and others like them are not new. So it was with the people of Noah, Ad, Ras, Thamud, and many others too. And for them the punishment was due, and these disbelievers head for the same fate for ignoring the warnings brought by you. Did we not give the disbelievers life in this first creation? Is it not just as easy for us then to recreate them and flesh their bones into reanimation? We created man and know the desires and warnings his soul whispers to him, and we are closer to him than the main vein which his life's blood flows in. We have assigned each man watchers on his shoulders, recording every deed, noting all he's said and done for him on judgment day to see. For when the trumpet is blown and people are raised again, they'll be informed this is the day of judgment, the day of which his warnings you arrogantly cast away. And man's recording angels will spur him and his devil on to the meeting place and say, see you now the truth of what you called a lie and deemed frivolous poetic wordplay. And hell will be his home, where he will be accompanied by malicious, aggressive rumour spreaders and those who chose to lie, along with idol worshippers and those who mocked the warning sent. They will taste the endless fiery bitterness of God's punishment. And even then his scheming jinn, each person has one assigned, will try to absolve himself of sin, saying, I did not force his hand once, all the transgressions were done by him. And God will ensure their silence and remind them that the chance has passed, and that his words will never change, and that he is just to all his creatures and cared for them all the same. And on that day, as hell reaches capacity, it will be asked whether it will be full soon, and it will respond in loyal tones, my Lord ensures I will always have room. And paradise will be brought to the righteous, an abode truly one of a kind, and they'll be told this is the reward for those who are aware of God and keep God firmly in mind, who believe in God even though he was unseen, who presents his heart in the best of states, utterly pure and thoroughly clean. They will have everlasting joy and all of what they wish, and God will then also bestow on them so much more than this. So remind the disbelievers, we destroyed more powerful generations. Search their remnants I have left as signs. Did they escape the annihilation? Those whose hearts are wise will heed the lessons learnt of those from the previous age, knowing we created the heavens and earth and all between them with ease within 6 days. Those who claim I rested on the 7th day tell a terrible lie. We do not become weary, we do not become overcome, nor do we ever tire. So prophet, bear with what they say, and be of the patient ones. Praise your Lord before the rising and setting of the sun, and proclaim his glory all through the night, supplicate and perform extra prayers, and await the call from Israfil in Jerusalem, commanding the earth to peel back its layers. The graves will burst forth, and all creatures will be brought back to life, and for the disbelievers the flames of hell will be the only evidence of the hereafter that will suffice. Only then will they realize that we were in control of life and death and the resurrection, and on that day some will feel my wrath, and some will have my protection. And we know what they say. You are not to force them, or anything like such. And the disbelievers will plainly see this was all so easy for us. So Muhammad, caution them again with this Qur'an, but never force a soul to do anything. For the believers, this sacred text is enough for them to heed my warning.